Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. So there's a lot going on at the moment. There's a lot of proposals up and I'm going to try and cover as much as I can over the course of this weekend as I've been gone for a few days. So I'm going to try and get through it. So the first one I think is very, very important to everything that's going on right now. And I hadn't covered it because I think this really does speak for itself. If you read the proposal, there really aren't any downsides. This is all positives. And to be quite honest, I'm just seeing a lot of, not so much promises, but really good sentiment in the proposal, in the Agora and over at Mars Protocol. We need things like this. We can't simply just close the doors and say no to everybody. This could be something that is going to benefit us all in the very near future. So let's go over to the Agora, and you've got this listing on Mars Protocol. It is a signal proposal, so do remember that there will be things that come into play and things that will need to happen. It's a text proposal. Everything has to become manual. Eventually there'll likely be an IBC connection bridge put forward, our IBC client upgrade, and we'll vote for that as well. But realistically, without going through all the nitty gritty and just getting into what the actual benefits are, increased burns, increased utility use cases, increased choices for interest rate models for LUNC holders, decreased circulating supply, decreased total supply, increased swaps for LUNC tokens due to being contractable within the red bank, also increasing burns, increased liquidity, reduced negative volatility, long-term positive price movement, and increased yield for those currently staked with LUNC validators on-chain due to deposits moving within the red bank to accrue, I'm just going to skip that word, interest rather than the draining the Oracle rewards pool due to the structure of how staking yield is paid. Sorry folks, it's 5:22 in the morning and I've got lots to do today. But moving forward, this for me is golden because, you know, ultimately we can just say yes to this. We don't have, I'm sure we don't have to pay for anything, and it's all promises made to us realistically by someone else. So we can sit back, we can relax, and we can watch this one play out. There's a lot that goes on with protocols, and it can really have a really good effect, and we can learn a lot from stuff like this, and we can learn to adapt ourselves better in the future and make better decisions based on, you know, historical events that have happened inside our sector of the cosmos. But this is just interlinking us in it. It's going to become an inevitability that we're going to be just linked in with all of the different parts of the cosmos, because that's the idea behind Alliance, that's the idea behind Tendermint. And I think over the next few months, I think we're going to start to see a lot more activity coming from Luna and a lot more going on their side, and also a lot going on our side. We've got parity coming up at the end of this month. That's hugely important to everything that's going on. We'll likely do a video on this red bank situation. We'll try to explain it as best as we can for you folks, and try and break it down and dull it down and simplify it as best as we could. So this whole protocol, it was early in the whole Terraport design, like they're saying, but it was never affected by the capitulation event, which is even good. It kind of shows that the system is possibly secure. Does something like this need an audit? The likelihood is they've got an audit already. We would love to see it. The likelihood is you can go and find that. If I can find that, I'll leave a link to it in the description for all of you folks. But honestly, this has got a yes vote from me, just because it's only positives. That the negatives is simply just, it wouldn't happen. None of that would happen because we wouldn't become IBC interlinked or listed on Mars Protocol. But getting a listing on there and interlinking ourselves, you know, it's everything to moving forward, reaching a hurdle, jumping over it, going around it, and saying to everybody, hey, look, let's keep moving on, let's keep pushing forward. Things are looking positive. There's good sentiment. We've got development teams, we've got funding, we've got this huge Oracle rewards pool, which is very attractive to anybody who wants to get involved in the cosmos, dipping their toe possibly. This is all going to fall into play, like I was saying, over the course of the next few months. This is one, I think, of many proposals that are going to be put forward, and like I was saying, we need to ensure that these protocols are audited, because as horrible as it is for me, I have to approach everything now after a year of being in this. And by the way, today is the 13th. It's exactly a year today that we created the YouTube channel, so it's exactly a year old. we've seen these rug pulls, we've seen scams, we've seen crashes, we've seen these so-called hacks, and I question everything until proven otherwise, and it's just one of those ones. And we should always treat each one of these protocols, each one of these IBC's connections as a security risk if not done correctly, so to speak. So getting these certic audits are going to be priority with any kind of interlinking that we're going to do, because for all we know, we could possibly be allowing a Trojan horse in or something like that. So ask questions, do the legwork, go and read and have your say about these kind of things, because that's the issue of one of these things. Like, the worst thing that could go wrong is simply a liquidity draining event, but that would be very, 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 very highly unlikely. And I think the worst case for us right now with something like this is it's simply just not happening and it just not coming true. But there are a lot of good things going on. Binance have put a statement out saying they're withdrawing from the Canadian market, but everybody needs to pay attention, I think, to the Japanese market, because they're making huge moves. And we spoke about this previously in a video about Elon Musk changing the Twitter logo to Doge and then applying the Konami cheat to that. It was too much of a coincidence, especially with the news that had come out around 3 or 4 days before, with pretty much Japan opening the doors to NFTs. And a good thing to look at this and simply say to yourselves, well, what's evidence of things not really happening in Japan? Well, Nintendo and Wizards of the Trading Coast, the TCG, which is the trading card game, they would have created Pokemon NFTs by now. And the simple fact is they haven't done that because there's laws in place to stop them from doing that. There's going to be laws put in place now that allows them to do that. The flood that will come from the Japanese market will overwhelm, I believe, what we've lost in the Canadian market and what we're missing out on different markets, because Japan is the home front of mobile gaming and gaming in general. It's where it all stems from. It's where it all comes from. And it just seems like everything's too much of a coincidence. You've got articles like this that are coming out saying about the Prime Minister. And if you Google this guy, which is Fumio Kishida, you can find out a lot about the Konami situation and how that unfolded back in the dot-com era and the Silicon Valley era. All interesting stuff, but ultimately getting a yes today from me for Mars Protocol. Other than that, folks, have a really, really nice Saturday wherever you are. I'll try to get a couple more videos out covering those other 4 proposals that are up. Other than that, have a nice day, and I will catch you in the next one. Stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, beware of scammers, beware of doppelgangers, beware of anybody pretending to be. None of this is financial advice. And yeah, I've already said it once, but I'll say it again. Catch you in the next one.